So, Meta shut down its cryptocurrency project Libra and Novi in 2022. But then a group of employees just basically said, F this, we're out of here, and we're going to go out and start our own cryptocurrency, building on some of the work we've already done. A year later, the SUI cryptocurrency was born, and SUI packs a speedy punch, much like Solana. But is it really the next Solana killer? Well, some are even saying that buying SUI now could be like buying Solana back in early 2021 when it was like $8 or whatever and had a similar market cap to SUI now. But obviously, you would be crazy to jump into this token without actually trying to understand it first. So I'm going to give you everything that you need to know about the SUI cryptocurrency, including what it is, how it works, and of course, if you're new to investing in cryptocurrencies, or just maybe you're new to the SUI token, this video could be for you. Now, you don't need to be a nerdy tech engineer like its founders to understand what SUI is doing. I'm going to be breaking this down very simply for you so that you don't feel left out of the conversation. These ideas can be hard to distill sometimes. That's what we're going to try to do in this video. So make sure to stick around until the end of the video as well, where we'll be outlining SUI's potential future growth, as well as some potential red flags that you'll want to know. Now, before we dive in, I have to give you this quick disclaimer. No one has paid us to make this review. This information in this video is being provided for free to you for educational purposes. I'm very clear, this is not a recommendation for you to run out and buy, sell, or hold the cryptocurrency in question. Now, if you appreciate this kind of free information, these explainer videos, then please do share this with your friends who might also find this information to be helpful. Now, if you want to see full portfolio disclosures, please see the link in the description on YouTube or the pinned comment on X. There you can see all of my current holdings, my venture investments, as well as a full risk statement on investing in cryptocurrencies. So what is SUI? SUI is a foundational layer 1 blockchain created by Miston Labs. It's a founding team of 5 ex-Meta engineers who previously worked on Facebook's now defunct payments wallet Novi from 2019 to 2022. Now, wasting no time after leaving Meta, Miston Labs was launched, and SUI's test blockchain in August of 2022 came out before launching its mainnet in May 2023. Now, it's no surprise that the computer code behind SUI originates from the work that was done over at Meta. SUI uses an updated and modified version of the Move programming language that was designed in order to power Meta's blockchain called Libra. Now, this is a speedy blockchain, much like Solana. So SUI is able to settle transactions and to execute smart contracts extremely efficiently, doing it very quickly and at a very low cost. Now, on paper, it's even better than Solana. SUI can process up to 120,000 transactions per second compared to Solana's 65,000 transactions per second. Of course, we also have Solana Fire Dancer coming in the future, which will make it 1.2 million transactions, but that's a topic for another day. SUI's secret sauce lies in its simple shortcut to validating transactions. Firstly, transactions on SUI are categorized into either simple or complex. Simple transactions are those that are initiated by a single address, and complex transactions are those involving multiple addresses, like auctions, for example. So rather than validating each transaction in full and then ordering them into a block to be added one by one to the blockchain, much like you would see in any conventional chain, SUI bypasses this. Instead, SUI's alternate blockchain structure allows for those simple transactions to be able to be finalized instantly by requiring only the relevant details of that particular transaction to be validated. The secret sauce is known as parallel processing. This allows a ton of transactions to be able to be processed simultaneously, thus saving time and valuable computing power. The sheer speed that SUI brings to payments and the deployment of financial services brings even more competition to the layer 1 blockchain ecosystem. And it is a very competitive space. Now, this is a key feature that should allow SUI to be able to scale faster and process an astronomically higher number of transactions than its big competitors. Now, one thing that SUI does have in common with Solana is its VC funding. There are some incredibly well-known names backing this horse, such as Andreessen Horowitz, also known as A16Z or Z, which invested 36 million during SUI's Series A funding round in December of 2021. Other familiar names out there, including Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary's fund, Jump Crypto, Binance Labs, Coinbase Ventures, FTX Ventures back in the day, all followed a $300 million Series B funding round in July 2022. Now, before we break down the SUI token and what exactly it does, because it is the lifeblood of the network, I want to interrupt the flow real quick to let you know about the best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency industry. My newsletter. It's called Wealth Mastery. Look, my team and I spend like 40 hours every week putting this bad boy together so that you can have a condensed version of the best information, the latest and greatest money-making alpha and insights to your inbox. Airdrops, altcoin news, altcoin deep dives, NFTs, NFT mints, technical analysis, DeFi tutorials, and much, much more. Look, we get it. You're busy. Wife, kids, dog, job. But you can get this information and stay ahead of the curve and join our 110,000 plus weekly readers and sign up for free. Yes, free. Link down in the description or the pinned comment on X. Okay, so now that you understand what the SUI blockchain is designed to do and how it works, let's talk about SUI's token utility, its supply, and its distribution. You see, the SUI token has 4 key uses. Number 1, staking. SUI is a proof of stake blockchain, allowing token holders to pledge their SUI tokens to help make the network more secure and, of course, to earn a bit of that sweet ka-ching in return. Number 2, fees. SUI tokens are used to pay for transaction fees on the network. Token holders can also pay for the storage of transaction records and metadata, with the fees going back to the transaction validators. Number 3, for providing liquidity. Liquidity platforms use SUI tokens to facilitate borrowing and lending. And number 4, governance. SUI token holders can actually vote in governance decisions, which then help steer the ship in the direction that you want to see it go in the future. SUI's token is capped at a total supply of 10 billion tokens, and the distribution of SUI's token supply is as follows. 6% is for the community access program and app testers. 10% is for the Miston Lab Treasury. 14% is for investors. 20% is for early contributors. And 50% is for the community reserve that's actually managed by the SUI Foundation. Now, this pot of tokens includes delegation programs, grant programs, research and development, and validator subsidies. When the token launched in May 2023, around 5% of the total supply entered into circulation. Now, the rest of the 10 billion will be released into circulation according to its predetermined schedule of unlocks for investors and things like this. The supply of SUI's circulating supply is currently around 1.23 billion. That's around 12.3.1% of the total supply, meaning that the majority of the tokens are still left to be unlocked, leaving investors wondering if it's best to sit on their hands and wait for a better entry with so many tokens and so much inflation still coming for the coin. So SUI is pulling out all the stops, of course, to try to drive investors into the blockchain. Quite literally, in 2023, SUI became the official blockchain partner of Formula One's Red Bull racing team. Kind of cool, right? It's a multi-year deal that involves creating different digital experiences for racing fans. Now, Red Bull launched its first collection of NFTs on SUI at the end of 2023, which were available for users to be able to buy on Bybit. The partnership has also expanded out to include the launch of the Red Bull Racing Validator, allowing the F1 team to actually validate transactions on the SUI network. That's pretty cool, right? Now, speaking of validators, Check this out. Alibaba Cloud provided SUI with infrastructure for validators on its test blockchain when it was still in its initial development phases. SUI has since expanded its partnership with Alibaba Cloud for new services for its developers. So aside from partnering with those recognizable names from the world of Web 2, SUI is also integrating with a ton of Web 3 projects. Stardust, for example, is one of those. The Web3 gaming infrastructure provider is going to make building all the different games and all that fun stuff on SUI super, super easy to do. Then, of course, there's Carrier One, who will be working with SUI in order to build out a decentralized wireless phone service. Pretty cool idea, right? There's also Ondo Finance, which has expanded its real world asset based stablecoins over to the SUI network as well. So we're seeing lots of adoption happening here, which is pretty cool. But before you go FOMOing into SUI, we need to talk about the potential risks and opportunities. SUI is one of the fastest growing layer one blockchains right now, with its ecosystem of apps and products and different services growing rapidly all the time. Solana-based lending and borrowing platform Sollend actually chose SUI as its first expansion outside of the Solana ecosystem with the launch of SUILend. SUI's speed combined with its uniqueness towards scalability is quite attractive for developers and for projects to go and build on. Not only that, it also means that SUI can expand out into other sectors such as NFTs, gaming, social media, identity platforms, all kinds of stuff that allow for simple transactions to be validated in this way. Now, with SUI tapping into these different kinds of technological trends, these different big narratives, its ecosystem could attract a lot of new developers and thus new development. But is this going to be enough to persuade users to jump on board the SUI train? Maybe. SUI has seen the amounts of funds staked in the ecosystem jump up a lot, actually by more than 1,000% between October 2023 and January 2024. So people are paying attention to SUI without a doubt. That's an incredible start to the year, of course, for them as well. And it's a direct result of the growing ecosystem and people actually starting to do stuff on chain. Of course, there's big partnerships, there's big integrations, but lurking in the background, of course, lies all those darn token unlocks and concerns over price suppression and obviously competition in of itself. Can it really compete with Solana or Ethereum layer 2? So if you plan on investing in the SUI token, this is, of course, all stuff you need to consider before actually going out there and buying. The SUI team was even accused, by the way, of manipulating its token supply through staking back in October 2023. So consider those things as well. The token dropped 9% after the director of the South Korean Financial Supervisory Service said that it's going to inspect SUI's behavior. Now, the SUI Foundation has denied these claims, of course, and said that it didn't sell any staking rewards or other tokens from locked and non-circulating token supplies. Either way, not a great look. So that's it. I'll leave you, of course, to make your own mind whether this is something worth your attention and your money or not. Let me know in the comments what you think of SUI, and I will see you in the next video.